If you're going on a cruise, you might be wondering about the do's and the don'ts. And in this video, we're going to go through the kind of things that maybe aren't said in the official cruise rules, but you should definitely avoid. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, I know cruising is a lot of fun, and I don't want to be talking about all of the different rules that you need to follow, but there are some things that are not necessarily officially said, but if you do them, they're kind of bad manners because they really do affect other people. So in this video, I'm going to go through 7 things that you should not do on a cruise. And I would like to hear from you if there are other things that people should not do on a cruise. If I'm completely off base with this, let me know as well. And if you agree, of course, I want to hear from you. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give the video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Number 1, I think I'm going to start off with something that might annoy some people, but it is that if you have children, don't bring your children into the adult-only areas. Now, this is something that unfortunately I think people see a lot, and it does kind of annoy them when they see these threads come up in Facebook groups. People do ask, can I bring my children to the adult-only pool during certain hours, for instance, or why can't my kids come to the adult-only show, some of them? And honestly, there are so many things for kids to do on a cruise. I actually think that it's the absolute best family vacation. But there are times when adults like to really just have their own space, in particular in an adult-only pool and a solarium. And it's just better not to make like the crew have to ask you to leave. So really, if you're cruising with kids, put them in the camp and go to the adult area yourselves. You'll probably really enjoy that when they are in the kids club. And otherwise, when you're with your children, just find some of the other areas that the kids are absolutely welcome. Number 2, don't be tardy for shore excursions. Now, what I mean is, of course, you don't want to be late for shore excursions coming back to the cruise ship because you don't want the cruise ship to leave without you. And that's definitely something not to do. But what I mean particularly is don't be late for the shore excursion, whether it's to depart or even once you are on the shore excursion. Sometimes if you're on a tour, you might be given some free time during that shore excursion where you could go off on your own and have lunch or do some shopping for maybe an hour or so. And then the group leader, the tour guide, will tell everybody, come back and meet here maybe at 1 or at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Don't be those people that come back late, maybe 15 minutes or even longer, because then everybody has to wait for you. And honestly, the worst part about waiting for you is that if there was something else that you were doing, like another place that you were going on this tour, that place then has to be cut short because the tour still has to be on time to get back to the cruise ship. Number 3, don't be a chair hog. Now, you knew that I had to say this one, right? Of course, this is something very obvious, but really it is something that you don't want to do. And honestly, the worst thing is, even though you will sometimes see this advice, don't go out at 5 o'clock in the morning and put towels on the deck chairs and flip-flops on the deck chairs. Really allow other people to get chairs and take the chairs only as you need them. Now, of course, if you sit down for a few minutes on your deck chairs and then you go into the water, or maybe you go grab a quick bite to eat for 15 minutes or 30 minutes, that is something that is okay. But there are honestly people on cruises that will save deck chairs, like many of them, for hours upon hour, and really it isn't something that we want to rely on the crew to take care of. Just don't be a chair hog. Number 4. Now, number 4 is a new problem, so tell me if you can guess it. Basically, it has to do with the cruise restart and one of the new things that we now have. Well, basically, it is Emuster. So don't be one of those people who doesn't go to their muster station on time. Everybody needs to do their safety drill or their muster drill. You have to basically do that by watching a video either in your cabin or on your phone. And then after that, you have to go with your cruise card or your medallion, and you have to go and check in at your muster station. It is super easy. You could go on your own, but a suggestion, go right away, almost as soon as you board, maybe right after lunch or right after you get to your cabin, or even as soon as you embark on the cruise ship. Don't wait until close to sail away, because then what happens is that the cruise director starts to announce over the intercom how many people have still not done their muster drill. And honestly, it's something that kind of at this point now, I think it is a little bit annoying. It's so easy now. Please let me know if you agree or you disagree. How quickly should people go and do that muster station check-in? Number 5, don't put your feet up on the furniture. Now, I know people feel very at home when they're on cruises now. However, don't put your feet up on the tables in the buffet or any of the casual restaurants. People don't want feet on the tables. And likewise, if people are traveling with children, it's not great, I think, to be putting them on the tables either. First of all, I don't think it's really the cleanest thing, but at the same time, for safety reasons, we really only want children to stay lower down on the chairs. Number 6, this is, I think, a little bit of bad manners, but at the same time, it is something that everybody has seen before, and it's not a written rule, but you definitely should not do this. And this is, in the buffet, do not eat from your plate, or even worse, from the trays. Now that we're back to self-serve on many cruises, don't eat while you're in the buffet line. Wait till you're sitting down at the table, but especially do not pick things off the serving spoon in the buffet line. Now, as I'm going through this list, I remembered one more, so I do actually have a bonus after this one. But number 7, I know this is something a lot of people mention, and I don't think most people do this intentionally at all, but when you are walking through the hallways, something to remember is those doors really aren't soundproof. So especially if you're walking through the corridors of the cruise ship at nighttime, going back to your cabin, whether you have kids or you're just on your own, don't really talk too loudly. Try not to scream. Try not to run in the hallways. Even if you have young children, perhaps just ask them to be a little bit quiet, especially if it's late at night, like after they come back from the kids club, because you can really hear those noises from the corridor. You can hear them in your cabin. Okay, so here is my bonus bad manners tip. And basically, this is more of almost a public service announcement, I think, and people have mentioned it before, and I definitely think it's true. So it is when you're waiting for the elevator in particular, but even in other areas of the cruise ship, if you see people that are in wheelchairs or using scooters for their mobility, or people that maybe have a handicap of any sort, if they're using a walker or anything like that, or a cane, if there's any issue, basically, let them have their way going into the elevator. A lot of people say that what happens on some cruise ships is they are waiting for the elevator, and that people will just sort of scoot in front of them because they could move faster into the elevator and they won't be able to get on. So that is just one sort of good manners, good deed thing that you can do, is make sure that you do allow the way for people that are in scooters and in wheelchairs and anything like that. Please allow them to have their way to go in and out of the elevator before you. Now, I know there are probably many more bad manners things and cruise ship etiquette that people should know, or things that people should avoid. So please let me know if you agree or you disagree with the points that I brought up in this video, and what other ones we should add as well. So please let me know that in the comments below this video. Now, I'm going to leave another video right after this one, just in case you want to continue with this topic. And basically, it is about the things that cruise passengers do that are kind of maybe ridiculous. So I will leave that video right after this one. Now, I hope that you did enjoy this video. If you did enjoy it, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I would love to have you here within the Life Well Cruised community. Bye for now, and happy cruising.